Good day, family. As we continue our teaching on seeing Christ in the tabernacle, today we're going to talk about the veil. And for this, we're going to read Exodus chapter 26, verses 31 through 33. And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen of cunning work. With cherubims shall it be made. And thou shalt hang it upon the 4 pillars of shittim wood overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold, upon the 4 sockets of silver. And thou shalt hang up the veil under the taches, that thou mayest bring in thither within the veil the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. The veil was the only way to get into the most holy place. The inner court was called the holy place, but the Holy of Holies was just that, the place where the ark would dwell, a place where they would meet God. But they constructed this veil with the many beautiful things that were on it, but also its thickness was that so it could not be seen through. Many people believe, based on measurements, it was about 4 inches thick. It allowed no light to come in, and it allowed nothing to shine through. So therefore it was a place where God would meet the priest. And I also believe when you look at the drawings or the way it was knit, that it showed a picture of the throne room of God. And what I want to do today is look at a few descriptions of the glory of God and also the glory of Christ himself. The first one I want to talk about is Isaiah's description in Isaiah chapter 6 verses 1 through 4. It says, "In the king that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto the other, and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke." So we see here the prophet Isaiah sees a picture of the throne room of God. Now I believe that every picture we see of the throne room of God is not adequate to truly describe what was actually seen. But with the limits of our own minds is what we describe. So we see here he saw seraphim, angelic beings, flying above the throne room of God. And there were many of them. I believe he said 6 of them. And what did they do? There were 3 of them. What did they do? They had 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their face. With 2 wings they covered their feet. And with 2 wings they did fly. The place was so holy they could not look upon the holiness of God. Their feet could not touch the ground of the throne room of God. And with the other 2 they had to keep, in balance above God. And then they did what? They cried to one another, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. They understood they were in the presence of a holy God, and all they could do was worship. Then there's Daniel's description in Daniel chapter 7, verse 9 and 10. "And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was as white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels of burning fire. And a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open." Here we see Daniel talks about the Ancient of Days, or the throne room of God once again. And what did it say? It said that his raiment was white as snow. All right, his garment was white as snow. Purity is what the white was. And then what else does it say? The hair of his head was white like wool. White hair is a symbol of wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And that's what he saw. And then what else did he see? He said he saw thousands and thousands serving him. This is thousands and thousands of angels, in addition to the ones that are flying above him. There are many that served him. And then there were 10,000 times 10,000 that were before him. Those that went on before us that are serving and sitting at the feet of God.